Many, it's a festive time of year. There are some who are navigating this grief space. It's the 1st or the 15th since their loved one passed away. Someone's spouse is no longer in the earth school. Someone's child, parent, friend. I can relate to that. I so relate, having experienced the loss of both my parents, 3 of my 4 siblings, best friend, and several others now. It's living a different life when those that you thought would always be there are no longer there at all. Walking through grief can be tough, but given the right tools, as you ebb and flow and learn to live with a broken heart that's being healed, you can safely navigate the grief space. If you need resources to talk to someone, or someone you know of needs resources, have them inbox us at the Love and Stuff page so that we can connect them with professional counselors who can give them tools to navigate the space. But I would like for you to take a listen tonight and see if you find any of the information tonight that resonates with you that might help you move forward during this holiday. We appreciate your being here, and I hope right now you will click share, tag 5 of your closest friends, connections, or subscribers, 5 of the more popular ones, to join us in navigating the grief space. Welcome to Love and Stuff. I am Marcus Holmes, your facilitator, and I'm very pleased to be at Love and Stuff with you again this evening. Let's see if I can, all right, get a little light going on. And I know we're a few minutes behind the regularly scheduled time, which is 8:30. Still a few technical difficulties, but if you keep supporting us, we will up our love game. And so I thought it would be just great to come to you. Taft Cleveland has joined us. Thanks so much for coming to Love and Stuff. I know we're a little behind. Lady Veronica Mahone. If you all would just tag some people right now, I'm going to just try to tag some other people to join us really quickly. Tamika Austin has joined us. Thanks so much for coming to Love and Stuff. Woodsy Lynette, thank you so much, God sister. I love you so much, and I want to swipe you in a minute. I hope I'm not causing it to shake too much. I was having just a few technical difficulties. I'm trying to cure those difficulties. And I'm going to just invite some folks. I already invited some folks to join us, but I thought, I would just tag a few other extra people. We're behind the regularly scheduled time, but I wanted to make an opportunity to invite a few folks to join us. Some I've already invited, but because we're beyond the time that we normally start, I wanted to just make an opportunity to invite them and invite you. Love and Stuff is a wonderful community. I feel very privileged and honored to be able to facilitate this weekly platform that I believe has the potential to do many more great things. People are always telling me what great things are happening in Love and Stuff, and I just envision even greater things. So kudos to all of you who come regularly to Love and Stuff, our regular part of our Love and Stuff, and who have invited others. Some of you are supporting the t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. I need a lot more of you to support. We're going into Black Friday, and we're going to have a special promotion relative to a new product, a new Love and Stuff shirt. You're saying, hey, we just debuted one. Well, we thought it would be nice to have a special holiday edition kind of Love and Stuff t-shirt, sweatshirt, hoodie. And so we're going to be, you'll be able to purchase those during this Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. So all right. Okay. All right. So let me just see who has joined us. Give me some more light. Tamika Austin, Corey Barksdale, Adrian Green, Monique Perkins Brown. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. Hey, missed you the last couple of weeks, I know. Bilal Muhammad, thank you, brother. So glad you are here. Love you most. Saying to Lynette, I almost choked on saying her name because that's not her name, but it is her name. Aria Moody has joined us, the thespian herself. Bernard K. Mitchum, thank you so much for coming to Love and Stuff. Darlene Hawkins, congratulations on your one of your triplets getting engaged. LaShawn Phoenix Coltarin, my sweetest honey pie. Okay. Peace. Hey there. Lori Wesby, thank you so much for coming. Kim Carter, thank you so much for coming. Patricia Henderson, thank you so much for coming. Autumn Nicole, my sweetest sweetie girl in the whole wide world. That's okay. Richard White III, thank you, sir, for coming to Love and Stuff. And I hope that each of you that are here who have stopped through will take a moment. Hello, Love and Stuff fam. Veronica says, Lady Veronica says, I know, sweetest sweetie girl in the whole wide world. I can't wait to see you. Hey, Patricia Henderson. I hope that each of you will take a moment right now and click share to share along with those who might have an interest in tonight's topic. And I have asked a number of you to share, and so I'll be swiping you in as we go throughout the night, along with Pastor Valencia Etner, who we know here as Mama V, who is a part of our Love and Stuff community, who has had grief counseling training. Of course, as a pastor, I think that's something that you must have. And so she's going to help us in our conversation about navigating grief. I'm going to just hit a few more people while you're hitting share, because I invited quite a number of folks and trying to give a couple of them the opportunity to get in. Jeanette Richardson, thanks so much for coming to Love and Stuff. Letice Douglas Good, one of the people that I wanted to share with you from her story. There are so many stories that make the tapestry that is Love and Stuff. And so I want to give more than voice to just a number of people, a select few. I want to give voice to many people who I think are through their journey showing and telling others that we really have a lot more in common than we have different. And so oftentimes people go through situations and they think they're the only one. And so Love and Stuff, like not unlike other formats, because there are other formats, but it's a place where divergent voices can be heard around topics and discussions so that it might enlighten your voice and you might recommit yourself to upping your love game, to increasing the amount of love that you give to our world. Jacqueline Holmes has joined us. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. Sandy Hudson, thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. Latrice Anderson, thanks for coming to Love and Stuff, all of you. And I hope that all of you that are joining will be kind and share. Click share right now and tag some folks. Before I go into the topic, I just want to remind you that the Love and Stuff gear is available. We really hope that all of you will, during this Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, will go to theloveandstuff.com or right here on Facebook to our Love and Stuff page and purchase some Love and Stuff gear. 25% of the net proceeds go to scholarships, go to hurricane relief victims, natural disaster victims, and to help the transient community. Thank you, Karen Douglas Jordan, for joining us, and I hope that you'll chime in. And so I hope that you will purchase. We're going to be debuting a special holiday Love and Stuff gear during the Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, and we really need you to get our shares up. We cannot do this without you. We cannot achieve the success that we want to without you. So I had to put that plug in. I would say shameless plug, but it's not a shameless plug because I believe sometimes you have not because you ask not. So I'm asking you to go and support Love and Stuff by buying a t-shirt, sweatshirt, hoodie, performance tee as low as $22.99. And again, 25% of the net proceeds will certainly go toward those charities that have been and causes that have been mentioned. Some of you will know me. Some of you, like Karen Douglas, have known me all my life. But some of you will know me, and you may know that I've experienced what at least I consider, in 2005, I lost my oldest sibling, my sister Vanessa, my brother Stephen. Actually, I lost my brother Stephen on Thanksgiving Day in 2005. He did not show up for dinner on Thanksgiving Day. And then in 2007, my best friend, Anthony Howard, who had cardiomyopathy, a condition, passed away at home. In 2008, passed away in June of 2008, and she left my sweetest sweetie girl in the whole wide world, Autumn Nicole, who was at that time 9 years old. And then in 2009, I often characterize it that the light in my father's eyes went out when his daughters were gone. And so in 2009, in May 2009, my sister Adrienne passed on Father's Day, and my dad didn't live to see another Father's Day. He passed on May 20th, 2009. And all during this time, the rock, I call her, of my life, I will say the true love of my life, my mother, whose name is Princess Irene Holmes, or was a guiding force through all of those terrible times. And she was a big proponent about celebrating not just what you've lost, and memorializing not just what you lost, but being thankful for what you still have. And so holidays were very big to her, and she always insisted that we celebrate holidays and that we have cooking right here at home. And so if I am a good cook, and some say that I am, it's because of her and my dad both, who were extraordinary cooks. And everybody within our families knew them for their cooking, came to our home for their cooking, because they were extraordinary cooks. And so Thanksgiving is very sentimental, because it was important to my mother that Thanksgiving be held in her home, and that she cooked the meal, and she cooked our favorites, sometimes even things that I later learned she really didn't eat, but she cooked them for us. And so Thanksgiving has always had all holidays. And so in 2014, just before Christmas, my mother went home to be with the Lord. And I can tell you, and those of you that have lost loved ones or lost, thank you, Tracy, those of you that have lost loved ones or lost a mother especially, for me, and this is how I describe it, if you lose your mother, you lose the face of God as revealed to you in this world. I don't think that there is a closer love to unconditional love. I just believe that there's a special bond with mother and children. And so when my mother left the earth, I could feel it, that her presence was gone, and that cleansing grace, that reset ability that exists in a mother who, no matter what you do to disappoint or even upset your mother will always love you.
Reclaiming my time.
Okay.
Reclaiming my time.
Attention busy parents. Don't waste your time or delicious Thanksgiving leftovers this holiday season. Introducing the Ultimate Thanksgiving Leftover Makeover ebook, a collection of 10 mouth-watering recipes that transform your leftovers into tasty new dishes. With these easy and creative recipes, you'll be able to whip up fantastic meals in no time and make the most out of your Thanksgiving feast. Get your copy now and let the leftovers shine.
And nothing shakes that bond. And that's why I said the physical loss. People say, you haven't lost anything. You know where she is. Well, that presence of someone, that is a great impact on your life. If you've ever lost anyone, you know exactly what I'm saying. That physical loss is great. there is a finality to not being able to touch your mother or kiss your mother or have your mother kiss you. There's a finality to never be able to pick up the phone and your mother's answer, or your mother call you in the middle of the night asking you, are you okay? Because the Lord woke her up. There is a finality to that, even though there is the hope that you will see your mother again if you live right. That's my belief as a Christian, because I believe if anybody made heaven, Princess Irene Holmes did. But the finality on this side, because this is the only point of reference we have of what we've experienced on this slide, I can say that yes, because I had a dad, but because I had a mother who had unconditional love. And amazing to me, she had this unconditional love for all of her children in different ways. We all had different needs, and she met every one of them. She stood up to the test, I would say, and I'm sure you would say the same thing about your mother. So coming into holidays can be very difficult. It can be stressful if you allow it to be. It can certainly have sad moments if you've had great memories like I have. I often tell people who say, gee, Marcus, you're so quick-witted. Well, you learned in the Holmes household to be quick-witted because you sat at a dinner table with 4 other siblings and 2 parents who read all the time, knew the paper back and front. My dad would read the newspaper front to back. Went to school. All of my siblings were smart. And because my dad was so quick-witted, everybody was quick-witted. And it took me a while to become quick-witted. And my mother would say, go on, baby, what you want to say? And they'd laugh and chuckle because it'd just be rapid fire, going around the table and just talking. And I was like, where do I get in? Well, I learned, which has been of great value, not only do I have the gift to gab, voila, but I have a quick wit, those of you that know me. And I got it from the father wit. People say the mother wit, but my father was so quick-witted that he almost could effortlessly seam together several conversations that happened in one room. I mean, he was just quick-witted. And so am I. Yep. Woodsy Net is correct. Yes. I'm quick-witted. And I got it from, you know where I got it from, Karen. So Patricia Johnson has joined us. And so I remember the first, Thanksgiving 2005, and my sister Adrian was adamant because she was kind of almost, in my thinking, she was a twin to my brother Stephen. She loved him so much, and he loved her so much. And they could be in their own world, just the two of them having conversation and leave everybody else out. And she knew something was wrong. And she would not rest. She would not we thought, well, maybe he decided not to come. Sometimes he would have a way of just being reserved and to himself. But my sister knew that something was wrong. And that Friday, she was right. We were able to break into his apartment and found him on the floor. And he had, based on what the coroners told us, he died around the time he finished the macaroni and cheese. He was cooking macaroni and cheese for dinner. And I thought that I would never be able to sit at another holiday table. And as I continued to lose siblings and then my parents, it just felt like there was no reason to celebrate. And I have so much to be thankful for, because I was in such deep remorse and pain and anger. I felt that all of my siblings and my parents were upstanding people. They didn't set out to hurt anybody. But yet these upstanding people who had a love for God seemed to have a Job experience all the time. And I just saw, we will play God in 2.5 seconds. And I thought, well, God, if you got to take some people, I got a list. I got a short list. I allowed it to overshadow the very theme of Thanksgiving and holidays for me, holy days, though people argue whether or not they're holy days, but our God, his bountiful blessing. And so I wanted to, because there are a number of people during this past year, some that are in the room right now, who have experienced loss. I wanted to talk with you about your experience in the hope, always in the hope that it will give somebody hope for the holidays. Someone has one less family member this year. Someone is not going to their mother's house this year because their mother is no longer living. Some siblings aren't together and haven't been together since their parents have died. There are people who have lost their spouses. So that seat on the right or on the left is now vacant. And I want people to go into this holiday season having hope. I can tell you there are many tears that come from many memories with every holiday. But each one that the Lord blesses me to get, I'm able to get a little stronger and be a little more thankful, not only for what was and what is, but what is to come. And so I don't want anybody going into Thursday, if we can help it, not having hope for the holidays. And like I said, there are a number of people I've had the pleasure to meet and make their acquaintance over this year, a number of whom have lost people into the holiday and not really feeling like celebrating. My sweetie girl and I have a tradition. We go to the parade every year. We've been going, I think, since she was 5 or 6. And I thought that she would outgrow it. As a matter of fact, given all the loss that we had experienced, I thought she would just say, nah. And she has been a light to me because she's always wanted to go. And we get up every Thanksgiving morn, leave the chitlins on simmer, and we go and we have a great time. We celebrate what we still have and what is still to come. So I want to just double back to those that are just joining the room. And I want to ask, I know Latice was in here. I wanted to talk to her. Scott Baird Mansour, I'm looking for him. He was going to be a guest on a previous show. He was a dear friend of Aretha Franklin. And I just want to talk to him as he's going into the holidays. Mike Flanoyle is another whose mom has passed away this year, and this is his first without his mom. I want to talk to them and then get Pastor V on to talk about some steps that we might take to have hope during the holidays. I see that Patricia Henderson is on, and one of her dear co-workers passed away suddenly. Rest in peace, Cassandra Johnson, former supervisor at street maintenance for the city of Detroit. And I just want her to know I'm thinking about her today and want to talk to those who might not have hope. Or you may be able to share from your own experience of loss, of how you have navigated through grief during the holiday seasons. My number one thing that I share, and I'm going to double back to just introduce some of the other folks that have come in, is what my mother said to me. And it struck me. It was after my sister Adrienne passed. Now, this is a woman who had then lost 3 children. Lost 3 children. And I was making the dressing. And I always, always, always have my mother taste the dressing. Because we had people in our family who would come near and far for Reen's dressing. Her name was Princess Irene, but some of her siblings and brothers and sisters in love called her Reen. And it meant the world to me to be able to make dressing and have her taste it. And she'll say, you got a little too much of this. Go light on the sage. She'd do that. And I brought some of the dressing in to her, and I had tears in my eyes. And she said, what's the matter? And I said, I'm just missing Adrian messing up oysters, because my sister Adrian thought she would have hors d'oeuvres on Thanksgiving, and she would do some oysters that she done saw at some restaurant, and she was not a good cook, bless her memory. And I said, I miss her messing up food. And we laughed. And she said to me, it's good to be thankful for what you had, but you have to be thankful for what you have left. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. This was a woman who had lost 3 children, buried 3 children. And she said to me, it's good to be thankful for what you had. And so I'm going to go back to those. I see some comments and I'm going to go back to those. I just wanted to share that from my own personal story. Some of you know that and some of you don't. And I didn't want to go into this discussion without sharing it. I thought it might be helpful for people to understand. And I'm seeing a number of you who I know have had losses. And I just appreciate that you are here.
Infuse fun back into your post-Thanksgiving kitchen. Are you bored of traditional leftover recipes? Spice it up. The Ultimate Leftover Makeover Feast Encore is your playbook for exciting, mouth-watering leftover creations. Get ready for culinary joy. Click to snag your ebook and start the fun.
Ernest Sisson has come through. Lady Veronica, Small Business Saturdays. Yes, please support Jan Holmes Boyd. Thank you, cousin. J. Gerald Harvey IV. Thank you, Associate Producer Jerome Rutledge. Thank you for coming to Love and Stuff. I hope all of you have shared already. Nathaniel Austin, thank you for joining us along with the Tamika. I appreciate it. Robert Townsend, thank you, sir, for joining. I appreciate you joining us. Jad Ahmad, thank you for joining. I hope I can swipe you in to talk about your mom. I would appreciate that. Darrell Dawson, thank you for coming in. Regardless of our lost grandma, made sure we both had food to eat and celebrated as best we could. Sure did. Christmas was so important that we bought a real tree. You're correct, sweetie girl. Antoine Peak has joined. Jawan Ingram has joined. Both of you, thanks for coming. Danielle Rucker says, yes, thank you so much. She made sure I decorated the tree every year with her, and she's deeply missed. Yes, she is, sweetie. Gregory Russ has joined us. Yes, yes, preach, Marcus. My heart is split open right now. I'm so sorry for your losses. I knew, but I didn't realize. Yeah, going through it, I was going through the motions of living, but I was really grieving. I was alive, but I was under a cloud of grief. I was singing, I was directing, I was teaching, I was leading praise and worship. I was working, I was volunteering, I was doing all that my life calls me to do, but I was answering from the place of grief. Because you can, just like people are a functional alcoholic, you can be a functional depressed individual. You can be a functional just about anything. So don't be fooled because you're able to go to work or you're able to do this. You might be doing it at half throttle. People may not notice. People may cover it up. People may not say anything. But you got to realize if you're at half throttle. Michael Berry has joined us. Two best friends, 4 cousins. To God be the glory. Yes, Yvonne Shelton, thanks for coming. Patricia Johnson, Yvette Baldwin, Leslie Beatty, Kamal Williams, our other associate producer. Thank you so much for coming. And please share right now. You all are doing so great with getting the shares up, but I'm still trying to get to 100 shares. Tamook Scruggs, thank you, sir, for coming to 11 Stuff. Waverly Bunbury, Orlandis Dunning, the fashion extraordinaire himself. Karen, you're welcome. Dre Hill has joined us. Cecil Miller, thank you for coming. Noah Bibb, thanks, cuz, for coming. I had a workshop last year called Healing in the Hood for men dealing with multiple losses in their life just from dealing with deaths of the homeboys. It was very impactful. We need more of it, Tamook. We need more of it. Mama V has joined us. Thanks so much. Annette Glover. Bayano has joined us. Thank you so much. Willie Rogers. Black men deal with so many funerals that we have post-traumatic hood syndrome. Yes, it's true. It was music for me and Mom. Still hard to watch Christmas special, 17 years. Kenyatta Roxanne has joined us. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. So someone tag Latisse Douglas. I want to make sure she's in here. And Scott Baird Mansour. They're supposed to join our discussion before Mama V comes in. But I wanted to just talk with a few Scott, I'm trying to get him in here. Okay, he is already invited. Okay, thank you so much. So sometimes please note that if you inbox me, I might not respond right away because we are live. And so I see it flashing across my screen, but sometimes if it's 5 inboxes, I can't. So I would kind of rely only on my associate producers to kind of inbox me unless it's just something burning that you don't want to forget. You can inbox me and I'll try to get back to it. But you can leave your comments in the comment section, and that way we can comment on them, unless again you feel like you don't want to share it and you want to just have a one-on-one dialogue later. But I kind of rely on the inbox for my associate producers to kind of let me know, okay, we need to keep moving. So we're trying to get to a format, so there is a method to our madness. Tish Taylor has joined us. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. I want to talk just for a minute to encourage my sister, our friend Patricia Henderson, because I know the loss is fresh, it's sudden, and I know there have been other losses. So if I can have her, and then I'm looking for Scott Baird Mansour, and I'm also looking for Latice Douglas, who was in. She popped in here earlier, so she may just have stepped out. I also saw Lori Wesby, also, whose mom has gone on to be with the Lord as well. A few years ago, we had a funeral every month. Other nationalities may only experience 1-2 deaths in a few years span. We deal with death like it's monthly cabaret just due to the frequency. And I think even in the African American diaspora, that's true for some and not true for everyone. But I think as we get older, we kind of find out a little bit more about that. Rashona Porter, thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. And you've had a loss recently. You're in my thoughts and prayers as well. I think I saw somebody who was ready to come on and join. I wanted to add Lori if I can, if she will come in. I know it's a tough subject to share, and I think that in sharing, you can help others have hope for the holiday. So I'm hoping that you'll be open to coming on and sharing. Some of you that I have asked, and some that I'm asking now, that you will come and share with us. So I hope that you will come and share in Love and Stuff. Okay. All right. I'm seeing it. Okay. Looks like wonderful. Okay. Kevin Show Crazy has joined us as well. Okay. I'm not sure if Lori is not available. I saw Patricia come. Okay. 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 I'm trying to see you, Patricia. Okay. Patricia is not showing that you're available. Make yourself available one more time. And Valerie Bennett. Wow. Pastor Bennett, thanks so much for coming to Love and Stuff. I would love to swipe you in for a moment if you would be kind. It is a format where I bring people on. I think this is your first time coming to Love and Stuff, and I would love to talk to you. I hope that you will respond to my invite. I'd love to swipe you in. I would absolutely love to. I'm hoping you will respond. I just sent you an invite, and I'm hoping that you will come in. And you're probably saying, what just happened? I came into the room. But I think there's a wonderful opportunity for hope for the holidays from you. And I just hope for a moment. I won't keep you long, I promise. All you have to do is click on the button, make sure your phone is on landscape so that you can turn it sideways and come on in. It's Pastor Valerie Bennett. I would love to talk to you for just a moment. I'm hoping that you will. Breakups are hard for folks at this time of year as well. Add cabin fever to mix, and you really have a bad combination for loss of life. And to move, there are just people who they become despondent because a lot of the time, because she didn't answer. Okay, Patricia, one more time, because it's a lot of the time. One more time, Patricia, I'm sorry. I tried to, and it wouldn't let me. It said you weren't available. Brenda Landry has joined us. A lot of the times, holidays are about family. So if you've lost family members, or if you've lost the connection to your family, because sometimes that happens when a patriarch or matriarch passes away, the family becomes disjointed or disconnected, or sometimes disengaged based on the will and a whole bunch of other things. So when you're seeing other families being together harmoniously or intact, it can create for you, if you allow it, a sense of despair, a sense of despondency when you don't have that love in your life, especially if you had that kind of love in your life. I lost a sister on Christmas when I was 12 and lost another sister 2 years ago on Christmas Eve. It was rough, but God got me through it. Thanks, cuz. I had to release that from my thoughts. Thank you, Patricia Johnson. I love to swipe you in as well. I'm trying to get Valerie Bennett and Patricia Henderson, and then maybe I can get you in before I get Mama V to join us and talk a little bit. I'm hoping, I'm trying to, because so Lori Wesby, oh, there you are, Patricia. Okay. Pastor Valerie Bennett, don't go away. Don't go away. We don't have commercial breaks. Shalita Williams. I'd love for Shalita Williams to come on. Hello, Patricia. How are you?
I'm great, Marcus. How are you?
I'm doing well. And you have my sympathy and my condolence. I know that street maintenance is a tight-knit group. And a lot of you have been there a lot of years and have come up the ranks through being helpers and workers and foremen and assistant supervisors and supervisors. And particularly, you know, being in human resources, and always grateful to see diverse and inclusive work environments, to see sisters who have gone up the ranks. It's always good to see as well. So just how are you today? That's what I tend to ask people now. I used to say, how you doing?
Today?
Yeah, but today, you have the right to be in your moment of grief today and not have to look farther beyond today.
Today I'm better than I was the day before. Because like you said, it was sudden. We had just left it up Saturday afternoon before we left for the day, and she was actually looking forward to going on vacation today to go out of town for the holidays. And I gave her some places to go in Savannah because she was going to Savannah, and we were just laughing it up. And I said, okay, well, I'll see you tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Have a good, night. Get ready for your trip. And when I got to work the next morning, I got a phone call before I was on my way to work saying, that she had passed. And I was like, okay, I'm going to need y'all to say that again because that's not registering with me. What you mean? She passed. We was just laughing it up last night before we left to go home. So it's hard. It's like you said, we came up to the ranks together. We worked side by side together as, like you say, Black women coming in this construction thing and rising to the way we are now. So yeah. It's rough. It's rough on all of us. It's a shocker. Yeah. We're dealing with it daily. Yeah. So I just want everybody to pray for her son, Derek, and her grandson, Derek Jr., because those were her loves, and he needs prayer right now because he's missing his mom. Sure. And
Sure. Nothing like your mother. I just believe that. There is no love on earth, Patricia, like your mother's love, because your mother can be mad with you. Your mother can be disappointed with you, but your mother is always going to love you.
Always gonna
love you.
Absolutely.
And when she is gone, that unconditional version of love is gone, and you know it. Yeah. It is the thing that challenges your morality and your mortality at the same time, because it's what you base it on. It's how you learn how to love. And you've experienced other losses in your life. Are you?
Yes, let's see. I'm holding up my stepdad died 7 months ago, as a matter of fact. And then I lost an aunt that died 8 months ago. That was like my sister aunt. So her birthday is like a few days after mine, which is coming up. So it's like I'm going into this season, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about my aunt. I'm thinking about my stepdad. I'm thinking about, wow, this is my first Thanksgiving without, my stepdad, and how he'll call and ask, what is you cooking? Or, you bringing me and your mama something to eat? And I'm like, yeah, I got to work. It's a parade. And they'd be like, okay, well, whenever you get off work. So it's in the back of my head, but like you said, like I told you, to be thankful for what I had, but be thankful for what I have. I am truly thankful.
Yeah.
I have a lot.
Yeah.
I still have a lot. I have great co-workers, friends, family, love and stuff family. So I pull on that strength.
I think that's really important. That's my number one thing. I really, and Mama V is going to come on and talk to us about ways to navigate, but I think it's important. When my brother Stephen passed, Patricia, my mother kind of made a memorial in the dining room of all of his awards and things like that. Some of my siblings weren't able to handle that, but I understood what it meant for her. It was her way of remembering what she had, because to me, my brother Stephen was a perfect child. He never caused my parents any trouble. I can't say that for all the rest of us, but he never caused them any trouble. And so, I can only imagine what they were going through, when he passed suddenly. And sometimes it doesn't matter if it's suddenly or from an illness. It is just, it's lost. But you got to be thankful for what you had, because there are so many people that didn't have a stepdad like you had, right? There's so many people that didn't have an auntie sister, or didn't have a coworker who came up the ranks with you. So you got to stop and memorialize what you had. You don't get to stay there forever, though.
Absolutely.
You got to build upon not just what you had, but now take inventory of what you still have. And that's the hard part. It's incredibly hard because you're used to what you had.
Attention all foodies. Don't miss our exclusive ebook offer. We all love a great deal, especially after the holiday spend. This ebook has 10 recipes with savory options that save and delight. Act fast for a tasty discount. Click the link for your special deal.
So like for you, you're going in the holidays thinking, okay, well, I would cook a little something for my stepfather, and then, he's not here for you to do that. But then you might cook it in his memory. What I do on New Year's Eve, I make hog head cheese from scratch, because my dad used to do it from scratch, and my mom did it from scratch. And not because I eat it really, but because it's a way to memorialize what they passed down to me. And I taught Autumn how to make it from scratch, so that she can have children and teach her children how to make it from scratch. And so that's just one of the ways. So I didn't say I'm not going to cook that anymore. I said, okay, I'm going to cook that in their memory. And so that's kind of what I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. That is great.
Yeah, so I would suggest maybe doing that. If you cooked a little something for your stepfather, cook a little something still. And
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Okay. Well, you're in our thoughts and our prayers. I appreciate your sharing.
Thank you so much.
All of the DPW, my folks over there, hug them all for me and tell them I'm praying for them. I'm really sorry.
I sure will.
Really am.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Hang around. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Take care. Okay. I will. Bye.
Bye. And people are saying, and I should have said while she was on, Patricia is beautiful and single. I saw some of the comments. I meant to read them, but I was really just trying to be I was intrigued with what she was saying. But she's a strikingly beautiful woman. She rarely wears, any makeup. That's just how she looks when I see her all the time. Now I don't get to see her all the time anymore, but when I see her, that's just how she looks. So brothers that are good brothers, because you got to be a good brother for the sister who has risen in the ranks for the city. Just put that plug in there. That's a shameless plug. I don't know if that's a shameless plug, but I did put that plug in there. Shalita Williams, I want to see if I can get you on. I was trying to get Valerie Bennett on. Joy Bodiford Greer, thank you for coming on. Joy, are you still here? I got to find you because I want to know if I can just have you come on. If you have on that Love and Stuff gear, I want people to see you in it. So give me a thumbs up or something. Let me know that you're here, because she's one of our customers, one of our investors. I really should say that, because she's investing in the Love and Stuff community. LaShawn is one, says you're beautiful. Yes, she is. You know the subject well, Sister Patricia Henderson. Okay. Thank you for Acts, Dr. Victoria. Thank you. Derek Robinson has joined. Hey, Jeffrey LaValle, thank you both for coming. Please click share and invite some other folks. Coco Kempis joined us. Jacqueline Holmes, thank you so much. I can't stay on. The Lord has me baking complete orders for the holiday. God is awesome how he gives me comfort during this time. And condolences to all who have lost loved ones. God bless you all. Okay, Shalita, I was hoping to talk to you. I need to hear this tonight. Carolyn, I'd love to talk to you for a moment too, because your dad passed. I'd like to talk to you. And Lewis, thank you, Patricia. Let's see if Joy Bodiford is here real quick. Lori Wesby is still here. I would love to talk to Lori Wesby. I'd love to talk to Yvonne, Woodsy, Lynette. Yep. Give me a like to let me know that you'd be willing to come on. Okay, Joy got away from me. All right. Okay, Shalita is still here, but she said she had to go. So I'm not gonna bug you. And I don't know, Lori, are you telling me? Somebody tell me that you can't come, because then I won't put you on. But I'd love to have you on. Okay, is that Joy? Let's see. Nope, I don't see you. I thought I saw her pop in. Okay. All right. That looks like, who is that? Nope, that's Shalita. Shalita, can you, okay, it says you, it can be a little low vibration there. We don't take low vibrations during the holiday. Tang, I really appreciate your coming. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, I'm going to try to get Yvonne in for a minute. Woodsy Lynette, this is my god sister. Her name is Yvonne Woods. Lynette is her middle name, so there you got it, Woodsy Lynette. I'm hoping she's available. I really, really, really wanted to talk to Valerie Bennett, so if someone's a friend to her, please click on her, tell her to come back. I want to talk to her. And Lori Wesby, I really hope that you can share. I know it's tough, but I think, honey, it will give so many people hope for the holidays. And you might be thinking, I'm grasping for hope. Sometimes what I found is sharing my present situation helps to bring me hope. It's sometimes cathartic. And so I'm hoping that you will share, because you have a love story to share about your mom. And I would be honored and privileged if we could talk it here. Okay, so Patricia, sounds like your cousin Tang. Tang, go and like the Love and Stuff page and be sure to buy some Love and Stuff gear. Love and Stuff is a wonderful community. Patricia will tell you more, but I hope that you will come back each Tuesday. We're here every Tuesday. And it is a phenomenal time for about an hour or so. Sometimes we run over an hour. Your producers are really trying to get on me and say, get this format together before Oprah calls you. Come on, Oprah. Y'all not with me. Y'all don't know Jesus. If you know Jesus, you would holler out right now. No, I'm not preaching. Please do Tang Nix. I think you will enjoy. It is a lively group. It is an intellectual group. It is a humorous group. It is a fiery group. It's a group filled of love and people who are seeking to up their love game. And we would love you to join us and get as many people on the West Coast joining us. Our goal is to up our love game. I feel like I'm on assignment to up my love game and to help others do the very same thing. And Patricia says it right. We have fun. We do have a great time. Lanita Clark, thanks for coming back to Love and Stuff. Love you much. Lanita, I would like to swipe you in because you could talk about Poppy a little bit. That might be good. I know that might be a little tough. But again, I think we can help each other have hope for the holidays and sharing some of our story. Okay, so Lori didn't answer, and I understand. I had to just try it again because I just think it's a powerful opportunity. You and Yvette Baldwin is here. Thanks so much. Yes, Oprah. Somebody tag Oprah. If you're her friend, tag her. Tell her, now you know what? Your programming is not complete without Love and Stuff. Hey, Lanita. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go to Mama V. I was just hoping before I brought Mama V in that I'd have an opportunity. And just for those that are just joining, if you would be kind to click share and share with others who may be going into this holiday with a little bit of trepidation, who might be hesitant because they've lost a loved one recently, or maybe they lost a loved one around the holidays. I joined with them in that. I was sharing that I had a brother to pass away on Thanksgiving. He didn't show up for dinner. And my sister Adrian, who was so connected to him, like Jonathan and David in the Bible said their souls were knitted together. That's how my sister and my brother Stephen were. They were just not just brother and sister, they were friends. And so she knew something was wrong, and when we broke down the door and found my brother on the floor, he had passed away. I called my sister, and before I could tell her, she said, "I knew it, brother too." She said too because she had also lost her other friend, my sister Vanessa, and they were friends, and they called each other sister. Of course, they were sisters, but they were friends, and so she lost her two best friends in the world. And I can only imagine losing two. I lost my best friend, so I know what that is, but I can only imagine losing two. And not many years after that, she herself passed away. And so I know what it is to go in the holidays and almost say, oh, if I could just sleep through the holiday. Families, they're going to be going shopping together, all the things, eating together, all the things that I would do. Because I'm the youngest, and so though they would always talk about me being spoiled, they were the ones who spoiled me. And my dad would say, I don't know why y'all complaining, because you're the ones that spoiled him. And so it's hard to go in the mall and say, oh, this or that, and not have my brother or sisters, and it later come up as a gift. I have an incredible brother still living, but I had incredible siblings who I can tell you everything that I embarked upon, they were part of. If they weren't there as supporters, they were financing it. Many of the travels that my group did in singing around this country, a lot of the times weren't financed by promoters. Some of them were slick trying to get over on people. They were financed by my family. And so when you lose that support, that cheering section or whatever it is, it can be incredibly difficult, especially around the holidays. But there is hope for you, like there is hope for me, from a great lesson that a great woman whose name was Princess Holmes shared with me. Yes, be grateful for what you had, but you also need to be grateful for what you have left. I saw Valerie Bennett come back. I would love to have a moment to just talk. I'm trying to get... Okay. Oh. Just a moment. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to go to Mama V. And Mama V, you got to make yourself available so I can get you in. Thank you. I'm glad you're back. But it doesn't say that you're available. So you got to make yourself available. Make yourself available. You've tuned in to Love and Stuff. If you're just joining us, we're talking about navigating through grief. And joining us now, joining us. Look, I'm trying to give you an introduction. I can't swipe you in. Come on, Mama V. Julie Stewart has joined us. Thanks for coming back to Love and Stuff. Click share right now and share this with someone. To the Love and Stuff community each and every week. And we want you, because you're a supporter now, you got to make a liar out of the devil. I'm going to say that. Renee Payne, thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. I appreciate your being here. I hope you will share it with someone else. Coming up, Mama V, who is a member of our Love and Stuff community, who also pastors in the Houston, Texas area, is going to be talking to us about how we might navigate through grief. And I shared at the outset from my a page of my personal story of the loss of 3 siblings, my best friend, and both of my parents, this great niece and nephew, 6 nieces, great niece and nephew, and going from that journey from 2005 through 2014, having to lose all of those people, I had times where I thought that there would never be celebrations again. That we experience are different than the ones I had experienced, and even quite candidly different than the ones I had envisioned. But I'm learning in my new normal to enjoy and take inventory for what still remains and the possibility of what is to come. You know, my Autumn is 20 years old. She'll be 21. She's a junior in college. And one day she will meet the man of her dreams if she hasn't already. She'll get a kick out of me saying that. And she will marry and have children. And I will have I'll be a grunkle. I'll be a granduncle. And I will get to have new memories and share with them the stories that were passed down to me, the stories and the events that I experienced will help to create new memories. And I'm creating new memories every day. And in so doing, I'm taking inventory of what opportunities for love I have left. I'm going to swipe in Valencia Etner, who is Mama V, affectionately known here. It's not letting me swipe you in, so you got to do something on your end. Michael Kemp has joined us. Thanks for coming. And Coco Kemp, both of you. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. It doesn't say that you're available, so please be available. Make sure you're on a device that can be available. And come on in. Come on in here. Come on in here like this. Come on. And so, getting back to those moments, is that Joy Bodifer Greer? If it is, I wanted to just have you. Oh. Yeah, I'm moving so fast. This is moving so quickly. Okay, so while we're getting Valencia in, as I was saying, I want people to have hope for the holidays. And even if this is your first year without that loved one, I want you to know that you still have so much to be thankful for. Let me see, while I'm trying to get Valencia in, let's see if I can get Lanita Clark in. Help, don't know what to do. It usually works. Miss Candace Pretty Girl Holmes is here. Thanks for coming. Got a question, type in the comment box and get an answer. Thank you, J. Gerald. All right, now I'm cooking. Okay. All right, Valencia, now I'm cooking. Hey, pretty girl, how are you? Thank you for coming, and don't forget to get your Love and Stuff gear. Hey there, how are you?
Hi.
Now I'm seeing.
I'm great.
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 You're great. Wait,
I'm supporting Love and Stuff.
I want to see it. Let's see it. Love and Stuff.
Yes.
I'm so glad. And thank you for being here tonight with us as we're talking about navigating grief during the holidays, especially. Eunice Peak has joined us, and Rakiba Disney. Thank you both for joining. And you mentioned it's been 17 years since the passing of your mom. Can you share with us a little bit about your mom, your relationship with your mom?
My mother raised me as an only child. I have siblings, but they're my father's children. So mother raised me as an only child, and she raised me as a single parent and an only child. So the relationship between us was one that was quite strong. And just trying to get this straight. It was quite strong, and we were not friends, but we were confidants. And I need that to make some sense. She was my parent. She was my parent, but there is nothing. When she passed away, I had no regrets, no secrets that we had kept from one another. That unconditional love thing you talked about earlier, and the fact that you don't find it anywhere else almost your entire rest of your life, that's truth. So those of you who still have parents, don't take that for granted. Hold on to that. But it's been 17 years, and grief comes. Usually when it's something really good going on, and I really want to share it with her. Her birthday's difficult. The anniversary of her death is difficult. And the week leading up to it, I feel off kilter because I kind of play out again everything that happened that week. But it's okay. And that's kind of why I was like, I'll come, because I really want people to understand that the grief is okay. And it's okay to go back and forth and in and out. It really is. No one can tell you how long to grieve your loved one. Mourning and grief are two different things. When we find ourselves in depressive states, that's a little more than grief. That's extended mourning. And we need to understand that there is a difference there.
Tell us again, what's the difference again, so that mourning is versus grief?
Mourning is the initial process of understanding that death has happened. Death of whatever. Because somebody this weekend is not just grieving or mourning the death of a loved one, the death of a person. Somebody's mourning the death of the dog that was their companion. Someone is mourning the loss of relationship. It's the first time you've been alone during a holiday, and that person is still very much alive. They're just not with you. And so it's still grief, and it's still you are mourning. So when you can't get out of the bed and nothing can do it, you got to be able to recognize that you may still be in mourning. And mourning is kind of debilitating. You know, we know how mourning is. Mourning is what you feel initially, and then you think you're okay, and then you keep trying to figure out why you feel like you're losing your mind. Because there are parts of it that don't seamlessly shift. Okay. But grief is a process, and no two people's process is the same. So if you're running around telling people you know how they feel, stop. You know how you felt in that same situation, but you don't know how they feel. And we've got to just be careful that during this time we don't trivialize people's grief. The fact that this is a difficult time for them. Trivialize it by saying, you know, girl, you're going to be all right. Or, you know, man, you know, come on, you know, you can handle this. You good. No, they're not. And it's okay that they're not good. And, you know, we got to learn how to, I don't really want to say this harshly, but we got to learn how to shut up. Stop telling people those things that we think we're supposed to say to people when they're trying to get through and navigate through grieving times. Stop telling people, you know, well, God wanted them more.
He takes
God
the best
loved
for
them
him.
more.
He saves the best for him.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. We think that helps.
Yeah.
But it really
told
doesn't.
somebody, the power of good silence is the best gift. Good silence.
That's it.
Because you want to say something because you think you're supposed to say something, but the thing that you need to do is say nothing and just be, and allow people to be. Be there with them.
Just and allow them to be. And if they're crying, tissue is all you need. Don't start talking. Because sometimes people just need to know you are there. Now, there are others of us who, when we are in grieving moments, act out. And I think we have to be really conscious that there are people who will act out. So if you can tell that they are on edge, this is not the time to talk about that thing that you just been wanting to talk to them about, because they're going to clock out on you. You become
misdirected aggression,
the target of their grieving moment. So learn to leave people alone when you can tell they're off kilter. You know, be there, you know, in case they are in need to say something or be, you know, it's, and I think it's hard for mates, people who are married to someone who loses a parent or someone who loses someone very close to them, but you are extended family, so you don't really feel it. And I think that sometimes what we think is patience with them is really not patience. It's toleration, and they feel that. So we have to be careful. Let me say something you said earlier, and I really want to go back to it because it's so good. You said that your mom memorialized my friend when he, Stefan was my friend.
You're going to make me cry.
When, I'm sorry.
Because I can hardly think of you and not think of Stefan, because you all were protectors of me when I didn't know I needed protection. I didn't know I needed protection as a teenage boy. I didn't know that.
We knew.
And I'm alive
but we
today.
Knew. Anyway, and we would talk about it and how to navigate through that. And when he couldn't be there and I was there, and you know, just ways. Yeah. And not for any reason, but just that we didn't want anybody else to do anything to you. So we were just really, anyway. So anyway, when you said what she did for Stefan's memory and how difficult it might have been for other family members, it was important for her to memorialize. But the memorializing is not really just memorializing. It's I need to do something that connects us on this day. A few years ago, I gave blood on the day my mother died. Because I said, if I'm going to give blood today, and because I'm O negative, whatever I give is going to save somebody's life. So on the day that she left me, I gave blood to save someone else. So you have to think, and sometimes if we would go on and think it through, instead of trying to bury our head under the sand until we feel better, until we get through this week or these, you know, during the holidays, it's like from the end of November to the end of December, it's like a month of trying to handle all of this with everybody buzzing around and every commercial and everything. And you just want to say, stop. I'm not feeling any of this. So you have to create things to be able to handle it. One of them is to do that. We're doing this course at our church called Surviving the Holidays. And at the church that I pastor, we have lost 23 members in the last 4 years. And because we're not a big church, that's major. And one of the things that I found is that my members were meeting and greeting ghosts every Sunday morning. And so the holidays may have been horrible for the immediate family, but it was also horrible for the church family. And so this year we started doing navigating grief. We started in September, and then for November, December, we're doing surviving the holidays. And they're just and one of the things that's in the book to make sure that you do that. One of the other things that's really important is, and this is the thing I really want people to get. If you don't get anything else, get this. You don't owe anybody to spend all day with them. No guilt when it's time to go.
Wave goodbye to the guilt of tossing out those Thanksgiving leftovers. Each year, so much lovingly prepared food ends up in the trash, and we all feel that pinch. Not anymore. The Leftover Makeover Feast Encore is your ultimate guide to transforming leftovers into delicious, innovative meals. Join the leftover revolution. Click the link to get your ebook and start your culinary adventure just in time for the holiday. There's no time or food to waste.
You don't have to sit through everybody's stories about what Big Mama would be making if she were here. Have an exit plan. Have something that you know is, if that's your trigger, then know that you can get out. Don't stay. Don't stay. Because it's when people stay that the hurt people start hurting people.
Yeah. Before you go, I want to go back and introduce some of the guests, and I also want you to tell us a little bit more of the study that you're studying from, the name of the author, so other people might want to do it. Okay. Let me go back and just get some of these comments. Yeah. Great comments too. Tammy Baker has joined us. Waverly Bumbry. Elena Cross says, True Valencia, bless you. Absolutely. Carolyn says, thank you, Renee Payne. Powerful words to know. It's okay to grieve, and no one can tell you how long to grieve. I thought that was powerful. Dennis Page has joined us. Thank you so much. Rochelle Weathers, one of my great friends. Thank you so much for coming. And I can say real quick while I'm saying this, I would be acting out, as you say, and Rochelle would just be calm, and she would say, now, I don't know if you meant that way, so I'm just going to chalk it up to you going through. And I'm here for you if you need me, and I understand. And that's what I needed for her to do in the friendship. Yeah.
And it's good to have people.
Deborah said, facts, we know them in different capacity. Words don't always help. That's so true. Yes, just love on them. I'm one who will act out. Carol and me too sometimes. Lawrence Hap Hemingway, thanks for coming. Charles Green and Deborah Hill, thank you both for coming. I hope that all of you that have just joined will click share right now and share this with several people. We're talking to Mama V, Pastor Valencia Etner, who is from Houston, Texas. Actually, she's from Detroit, Michigan, but she pastors in Houston, Texas, and lives there now. And she is sporting our Love and Stuff gear. We love that, and we hope that you will love Love and Stuff gear too. It's a way to up your love game. And think about this. If we're all on an assignment to give more love, there has to be somebody giving love to us. God must be pouring love into us for us to give love to others. Pastor V, tell us again the name of that study and who's the author, and maybe how other churches or groups might access it.
This is a company called Grief Share. And usually Grief Share is a 13-week course. That's not always in everyone's lifestyle, okay? But Surviving the Holidays is a 2-hour course. And if you go to the Grief Share website, you can put your zip code in, and it will let you know anyone having Sharing the Holidays in your area. Because they ask those of us who are doing it to sign up so that people who can come to your location. We're having our next on December 1st, and we will make sure they know that people can come where we are. And Grief Share does a course on death or grieving those loved ones who've gone on. And it does a divorce course. It does anything that you're grieving through. It's multicultural, so It's a blessing to those who really are in need of just some tools. I think a lot of times we deal with things better if we at least have the tools. You know, those of us who are cerebral, who are thinkers, want to push past our feelings sometimes, and sometimes we bury them. But the best way for us to deal with them is to go on and thought-provokingly work through it. Yeah. It was one other thing I really thought was really important. One, take your time. Don't feel guilty. If you tell somebody I'm coming, when you tell them, when they invite you, you got to be able to say, look, it's my intention today. Like you said, how are you doing today? It's my intention today to come. But I need you to not hold it over my head if I can't handle it. We don't have to be okay for others. We don't have to put on this I'm strong, invincible, I'm good. I've got, I'm navigating, I'm good, all is well. It doesn't have to be well every day.
It's so important because very early on, when you have loved ones, especially in the Christian faith, they've gone on to be with the Lord. And so you should be okay. And you should just be hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And you should be able to,
But you miss them. And you're not sad because we got to understand and call things what they are. I'm not upset that my mama went to glory. I'm glad she went. I'm glad she's not suffering. I'm glad she made transition.
Right.
But I miss my mama. And it's okay for me to be selfish enough to say I miss them. A lot of times, we just have to be careful that we look at the right lens. Because sometimes the lens we're looking through is, why did they have to die? That's not it. The lens is, I'm not prepared to be here without them.
That's right.
So I need help to survive being here without them. And so that makes it, we've got to be able to receive where everyone is and not become another point of hurt for people who are grieving. We sometimes think we're helping, but we're not helping.
Yeah.
We're just not helping.
What would you say is the point for an individual that he or she should decide whether or not he needs some help? I think what you said resonated with me, that we need help learning to live without that person. That's what we need help with. It's the absence, it's the physical loss. That's why it gets me so much when I go to funerals. And I tell people all the time, it's easy for me to sing at funerals if I don't know the person. If I know the person, I got to work at it. But I go to funerals all the time and people say,
but you're also reliving every time you go. Yeah. So you got to remember that too.
Say,
I think that
they say you haven't lost. You haven't.
Go on, Mark. I'm sorry.
You know where he is, or you know where she is, and I want to stand up and just scream. I'm like, yes, they did lose somebody.
But you've lost
the physical presence and connection of an individual. It's not like a coin. It's not the coin that in the parable where the woman swept the house and found the coin. It's not the same thing. It's not that kind of loss.
I think the play on the words, Marcus. I think when we say lose, we usually think of something that's lost as not being able to be found. But there's a difference between LOST and LOSS. We use them interchangeably.
They're not.
But they're not. When you experience the separation anxiety that comes from someone who has been an investment in your life no longer being there, it is an LOSS.
It's a deficit. Yeah, it's a
It's
deficit.
lost.
Yeah.
It's a deficit. But it's not a LOST if we're lined up, you know, our beliefs and that kind of thing. It's not like you don't know where they are. And I think that that's part of the problem. I think we spend a lot of time putting a T on that word when it's just another S. And I think if we looked at it like, you know, gains and losses as opposed to lost and found, that we could navigate this whole thing better. Yeah.
It is a loss.
It is a loss, but they are not lost.
There you go.
Yeah.
And while heaven has
and then I want somebody needs to hear,
you still have experienced the loss. Yeah.
But heaven had gained. This is the thing. Okay, let me go preach it for a minute. Look, those who die in Christ have gained before they gain. Okay? Our goal is to be there too. All right? But in the meantime, when we have to navigate living down here without the ones who gained,
it's a loss.
It's a loss.
Yes.
For us.
Yes. Naomi.
And we got to stop telling people that when they gain, that God gains. God already had them. That's why they get to gain.
Yeah. Naomi Newsom has joined us. Thank you. Teresa Smith has joined us. Thank you so much. Tange Nick says, Mary, oh, you're tagging people, looks like. Thank you. Keep tagging people to join our conversation. Carmen says, just allow people to grieve and heal in their own time. Oh, Tange, are you cousins to Teresa Smith? Oh, then we should know each other. James Woodward has joined us. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. Oh, good, you all are tagging people. I love it. I love it. Okay, Julie, we're going to pray for you. You're not feeling well. Lay down, okay? Thank you, Arthur Produce. So the people that are being tagged that are joining, just give us a shout out so we'll know that you're here. And that way we can connect you to our Love and Stuff family. We'd love for you to be a part of our community. Okay, Anthony Howard has joined us. Go ahead, Pastor V, you were saying.
So this is the thing. Those of you who are going, who have said you're going, you've cooked because you had to cook mama's favorite dish or whatever, and you're going family, or that you were brave enough to invite everyone over. I want you to plan for the emotion that's coming. And it's not going to come how you think it's going to come. It's going to be how somebody puts the ladle in that gravy. Something real simple. But be prepared for it. And if it's a full family of you and you've all experienced the same loss, then do some disclaimers on the front end of dinner. On the front end of being with each other. We know it's going to be a difficult day. Don't push buttons. You know our buttons. You know, watch your mouth. If you know you can't handle your alcohol, don't drink nothing till dinner is over. You can go to your house, do whatever you want to do. If you know that the moment you start drinking, you're going to get depressed and start crying and you know what you do. So that you're not going to not do it because it's Thanksgiving Day. So plan your emotional outburst. Know it's coming. Plan for it, not plan the emotional outburst, but plan for it. Because it's coming. And it's not abnormal. You just have to plan for it so it does not become a new problem in the family, another thing for people to grieve.
That's good. What would you say to those people that are in a grief process? I like how you described it earlier, the grief versus the mourning, that people are in a grief process, and sometimes, Pastor V, your own challenges, addictive natures are heightened in grief because you're trying to fill a void. So going into these holidays, because you mentioned drinking, and that's one way that people sometimes numb or try to deal with it.
Numbing
is it's already there. So you already are drinking, but it gets heightened because it's the place that you go to fill the void. How do you navigate that going into the holidays? Know that you're going to be in social settings, people are going to be drinking, or you're going to be alone, and you're going to have that black book on your dresser that you would typically go through to fill the void. How do you navigate through those?
Yeah, because I was going to say
Sure.
it's more than substances.
Sure.
For a lot of people, it's people.
Whatever it is for you that feels you try to fill
I think
the
you
void
have
with, it seems to get heightened when you're in a grief process. So how do you navigate through that?
That is correct. Okay, 2 things you need to do. 2 things. 1, there is a marvelous, marvelous thing called a licensed counselor. And if you're finding that that's happening to you more often than you expected, you need one. Now, I'm looking at the camera to say that. You need one. You need someone you can talk to navigate through it. There are hotlines if it's just a day and you just can't hold on and you find yourself spiraling. Get the numbers and put them near you. Put them in your phone. Put them in your bag, whatever it is you need to prepare for what could happen. So that's one thing. The second thing is, if you find that that's making you feel like you don't want to be here, then the hotline is absolutely necessary. Make sure you're not alone that day if you can help it. I'm not telling you to go be at the biggest party in the world, but find someone that you can be in contact with, whether it's FaceTime or if you just don't want to be around people. We have too many gadgets that can help us be within range of someone. And if someone says to you, because they text you, I'm not handling this well, I don't know if I need to even be here anymore, then even if it causes them some trouble, call it in. Because you don't want to be the one who they reached out to and you didn't respond. Okay? Now, let's deal with the other way to numb. Those substances and people and stuff. Stuff that you do anyway, but you just do more of it because you don't want to feel. One of the strongest things I've heard about this whole grieving process is this. It's going to hurt more before it feels better. And every time you numb it, when you come out, you're back at ground zero. So if you think that I'm going to drink from now till Friday, and then I won't have to feel what Thanksgiving is, then you're going to be drinking from Friday to Monday because you missed Thanksgiving because you were drinking. It's a cycle you don't really want to. You don't want to get on that. So expect to have some issue if you've got that issue anyway, and surround yourself with somebody, some accountability partner who can say, listen, I know you're about to cuss me out, but you've had enough and I'm taking this bottle. Or if you pick up the phone and call them, I'm coming over. I'm blocking. You know, you just got to have someone whom you trust because this is what, if you really want to navigate through, you'll use the tools to navigate through. If you really just want to fall apart, there's no tools we can give you tonight that's going to change that. You want to go there. And so that means you're going to go there. Now you're going to have to deal with the aftermath of that, and I hope we're prepared for that. But really, if it's about trying to really hold that back and not go there, you can, but you got to prepare yourself to deal with it. Okay? On the Grief Share website, there is a checklist for surviving the holidays. It's not the full scope of things, but it's just a little checklist of things that you need to be consider as you're going through this. And it's not the only one. It's just the one that we happen to be using. But there are others that really, give you tools to handle this time. You know, just be careful that you don't reach out to the one who's thirsty and needy. Can I be real like that for a minute, Marcus? If you know there's somebody, okay, I'm getting into people's business. If you know there's somebody who really wants to be around you and they want to help you through your grief, but you know that afterwards you're going to have to deal with somebody you got to try to get a restraining order on, stop the madness before it starts. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Too easy.
What are some of the signs you would say? You know, when you talked about it earlier, people are sometimes despondent, sometimes suicidal, sometimes homicidal.
Yeah.
What are the signs? What are the signs that you might look for when someone is grieving so deeply that they can't make use of the tools available to them to keep living through grief? Because I believe people can grieve so deeply and they don't acknowledge or recognize the tools that are available. And so they're at a place of despondency, a place where they might harm themselves or others. What are some of the signs that family members should look out for other people in their families, especially around the holidays?
Well, let me first say I am not a licensed counselor. So I really do suggest, if people are concerned that there is someone in their family who has been on that edge, they see them teeter-tottering somewhere, manic, that whole manic depressive, real high one day and real low another day, talk to someone who can talk about how grieving can sometimes spiral into bipolarism, you know, because it can, you know, but I'm not going to give any diagnosis for that kind of thing. But what I will say is this: if there are wide swings, you know, from the height of heights to the depths of depths, all in one small period, then you might want to suggest to them that they see someone. If it happens like on Thanksgiving Day, then don't let that person go home alone. You know, love them enough. If they're family, love them enough to not leave them by themselves. Because a lot of times when people are going through that badly, it's a moment. And if they are able to survive through the moment, they'll make it. But if they're by themselves and isolated and all they have is the stinking thinking of rewinding and I can't do this, I can't be here, I can't do it, my heart can't handle this, then we don't know the kinds of things that people can do. Stinking thinking is not just a drug situation. Stinking thinking is grief. Mourning will have you stinking thinking in ways that you can't navigate out of. It's a difficult process, but it's a process. But the problem is if no one's processing, if it's a process but you're not progressing, you're not processing to the next level, then something is caught. Someone's stuck, and when you're stuck, you got to get help to get out. You know, my car got stuck in the mud the other day. And the more I tried to navigate out of it, the deeper in the trench I got. It was not until someone knew with wisdom how to help push beyond the mud that I was able to get out. We've got to know when somebody's stuck.
Yes. Adrian Green has joined us, and J. Gerald Harvey, our associate producer, is saying, please confirm the website. I believe it's Grief Share.
griefshare.org. I'm sorry, www.griefshare.org. They have a Facebook page, facebook.com /
Thank you, and we're
grief
going to put
share
that in our comments. Lena Brown has joined us. Thank you so much for coming to Love and Stuff. Pastor V, can you go back? Can you take us back to your first year without your mother going into the holidays? And what lessons have you learned from that? While we recognize, and the disclaimer, all grief processes are different. Each person's grief experience is unique. So what works for one individual may not work for another, but at least it may enlighten your perspective. And that's what we always seek and hope to do here at Love and Stuff. So for you, what did you experience, and what great lessons did you learn that you can share?
These are the things that I had multiplicity of things going on that year. So for those of you who had multiple people to pass away or multiple life-changing situations on the same year in which you've had a great loss, know you're not alone in that. It happens. Sometimes when it rains, it really does pour. But in that first year, I did two things that I thought were significant. We had a funeral, and then I had a memorial service later in the year for Mom in Detroit because she passed away in Texas. And one of the things that I was told during that time is that there are times when you have to quarantine the people who are not able to handle where you are. Sometimes people, even the ones that you live with, can have a hard time handling where you need to be, where your grief is. So I left town that Christmas. I just left town. I finished the semester because I was teaching full time then. I finished the semester and I left town. I went somewhere where there was going to be people who understood my need to grieve. God and I had some issues. I'm just gonna tell you because some of you are dealing with it. Me and God had some issues. I'm like, that was the one and only. So why am I trying to navigate this by myself? And what was it that you were doing with that? And sometimes we got to be honest that we are having to ask God some real poignant questions. And there's not always the way we ask them. Okay? However, we've got to be in places that will affirm and confirm our faith even in the struggle. Because if we really believe that they're okay and that our goal is to be okay one day ourselves, then we've got to be able to say, I don't like this. It's driving me nuts. It's so hard for me to navigate through this, but I got to go through. But you don't have to go through with people who cannot understand your process. So get away from those who want to say all that crazy stuff people say, you know, or be strong enough to say, don't say that. I can't hear that right now. And if you feel the need to keep saying it to me, then I need to not be in your presence. And I'm really sorry that I have to say it like that. But if you want to be in my presence, and I would love to be in your presence, you got to understand where I am. And if you're not willing to receive that, then possibly later we may be able to have a conversation, but not in here. Not in through this period of time. Just, and coworkers won't understand. So if it's one of those days and you got some time, take the day off. You do not want to fall apart at work. Don't go to the office Christmas party and drink everything that comes past you. If you know that alcohol can be a trigger. You can look real cool with some club soda in your hand and not feel like you got to go over there. Yeah. But that's what I did. I left town. I went somewhere. I went to my aunt, who is more like sister to me. You understand. And I went to her because she was grieving, her sister too, but she was grieving in a very good way. And we were able to grieve, but constructively grieve, if there's a word. We talked, we laughed, we had moments, and if you were having a moment, everybody left you alone. And so I was able to navigate it. But find that space you can go to. And don't be upset if people are at your house and you say, I got to go to my room for a little while. Tell them up front, I may disappear. You all stay here. It's good. I'm fine. Enjoy. But if it gets overwhelming, I'm going to retreat. And if I feel better, I'll come back. Give yourself permission to not have to take the world on your shoulders and to be the be all end all when your heart is still broken.
That's good. Stacy English, William Jenkins have also joined us, Christy Wilson. Pastor V, thank you so much. I want you to look, please, like you did before earlier, directly into the camera. And I want you to talk to individuals who are going into their first holiday season. Maybe this is the first holiday without that loved one, without their spouse. You know, as you said earlier, I think so poignantly, sometimes the grief is the person is still living down the street around, they're just not with you. And so look at the camera and talk to our Love and Stuff community, because there are people who are despondent. There are people who want to go to sleep and wake up on January 2nd. Some don't want to wake up, but some want to wake up January 2nd. They want to go throughout this holiday and just be numb because they are so feeling the absence of that loved one. What would you suggest to them in giving them hope?
This is what I will say to you. Listen, you're grieving, and it's okay. First, no one, like I said earlier, can tell you how to grieve and how long. But what I do want you to do is to be able to recognize what you're going through. That is not just emotion on emotion on emotion. Because when it's emotion on emotion on emotion, there's nothing that can have any logic in it. And so you can't even look for tools to try to get through this time if all you're doing is feeling. Find an accountability partner. Find someone whom you love and who loves you and whom you trust. So, and that won't be tired, won't become tired of your process. For some people, it may be 2 or 3, and I understand that. But find some people who will remind you that life is still worth living. Find some people who will remind you that, yes, you have lost. You have had a loss. But that there's probably some folk around you who need you too. Who, when you're not dealing with the loss of someone well, they have to deal with the loss of that someone and the loss of you. So, I just want to encourage you that it's okay. You're not alone. There are an awful lot of people in the same situation you're in. Don't be mad at yourself when you don't want to hear Christmas music. Don't be upset with yourself when the cute little perky people on television get on your nerves. Find a place of solitude, a place to be reminded of the good that lies within you, no matter how difficult this moment is. Know that it will never, ever go away, but it will get better. But it can only get better if you allow yourself to go through it. Remember, it's a go through. You're going to get on the other side of the depth of this pain, but you have to let yourself go through. I know you can, and I'm just hoping that you will allow yourself to utilize the tools around you and the people who love you to remind you that there is life after death, there is life after divorce, there is life after the loss of a pet, because some people I know that's you. But there is life after loss of a job, a career, loss of your limbs working the way they used to. Some of you are grieving just not being able to go do things because your body is not working right. So just know that your grief is merited, but receive it as grief. Don't get stuck. Keep going through. Find ways to honor the memory so that the memory will, the joy of the memory will be greater than the pain.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here tonight. And tell us again the website that we could go to.
www.griefshare.org. They have a Facebook page, and the Facebook page might be better in that I'm sure that they are responding to people and giving tools and places to call if you need. But also know in your local area there are hotlines. Go on and get those numbers while you're doing okay, so that they're by your phone, that they're by your bed, so that if you need to talk with someone and it's the wee hours of the morning, and sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger than someone you know. So don't be afraid of that. Pick up the phone and call a reputable hotline and allow them to help you navigate through that very dark time, that dark moment, because light will shine again. It's just going to take a little time.
Thank you so much. Love you so much. Show them the Love and
You're
Stuff
welcome.
t-shirt one more time.
Love you.
Love and Stuff. You
Love
got to
and
get your Love and
Stuff.
Stuff gear. Yes.
Love and
Thank you, Pastor V. We love you so much here at Love and Stuff.
Love you. All right. Bye-bye.
That was Pastor V, and we absolutely love her here at Love and Stuff. She always kicks wisdom with us. She did give a disclaimer that she's not a licensed counselor. And I'm not disclaiming the disclaimer. I'm just saying that I've been knowing her almost all my life, or all the life I've known. And she has progressed to being a pastor, but she's always had a wisdom about her with others. And so I wanted to thank her for coming on. I am just, I'm feeling really inspired to tell you, like Pastor V did, that you can make it. These moments of grief get better. From my own page, I can tell you the tears never stop. There are times that I'm in the shower and I'm talking to God and singing, and I could think of a song or think of a saying or think of a moment that I've shared with any one of my 3 siblings that have passed, my parents or my best friend, and I can weep uncontrollably. And I could be somber, and then some encouragement, some moment, some glimmer of hope is shined in my life, in my face, and it gets me back on a path of managing those moments and waves of grief. And you can do it too. We're coming into the holiday that has everything from potato salad to yams to Patty's pies to chitlins to hog mogs to turkeys to dressing, you name it, as Shirley Caesar would say. All of those things. And along with them are a lot of people who've experienced a lot of loss, a lot of deficit, through death, through grief, through divorce, through all of the things you've heard named tonight. They have experienced a deficit and are feeling alone. And I want to tell you from a personal page that you, if you are experiencing that you can make it. That's right, you can make it. You are not alone. Even if your Thanksgiving feast doesn't appear to be promising, I hope that something that has been shared in this replay will provide you some tools to navigate your grief. Whatever the grief space you're in, you must know that you are not alone. So we want to help by providing you resources so that you navigate the grief safely. It is a journey, not a destination that you're going to get where you'll never have grief moments again. But you will learn to live with a broken heart, I promise. And you will learn to live a good life. It does take courage. It does take patience with oneself to get to a place where you begin to live again without those who have been so significant in your world. Join us from 12 noon to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thanksgiving Day. We will be right here in the Love and Stuff community with Thanksgiving with Love. Various members of our community are sharing their time in virtual space so that there is no one that is left without someone on Thanksgiving. So join us. Just tune in anytime that you feel like it throughout that time. There'll be laughter and comedy, sports and family, and everything in between. We'd love to see you there. You sit at our table and be a part of our feast, because together we can navigate anything. I'm Marcus Holmes. I'm the love activist. I am advocating for a better love for you and me, and I hope you will join us in this community by clicking the notification on the Love and Stuff community page and following us on an extraordinary journey as we seek to up our love game. See you soon.